They promised a new life, but found a grim reality. Beyond the romantic tales of cowboys and gold rushes lies a lethal frontier. Forget the polished movies. These are the unfiltered, haunting snapshots of the 19th century American Wild West. Raw, brutal, unforgettable. Welcome to the side of history they didn't want you to see. Carved in stone, a forgotten record of the Spanish conquest. Long before the westward expansion of the late 17th century, the Spanish had already discovered and settled this land as early as the 16th century. This is Inscription Rock in New Mexico. Captured in 1873 by Timothy O'Sullivan, it stands as a rare physical testament to an era lost to time. The raw power of the American frontier. Shoshone Falls on the Snake River. Captured in 1874 by the legendary Irish photographer Timothy O'Sullivan. Known for his haunting images of the Civil War, O'Sullivan became a pioneer of landscape photography. His mission? To lure settlers west with images of a landscape that was both majestic and untamed. The Wheeler Survey, an epic expedition into the unknown. In 1871, photographer Timothy O'Sullivan joined Lieutenant G.M. Wheeler on a grueling mission along the 100th meridian. From Canada down to Mexico, they mapped the rugged territories of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. This is the crew at Diamond Creek on the Colorado River, a rare glimpse of the explorers and the Native Americans who guided them through a land that was truly uncharted. The grueling journey west, captured in a single frame. In 1886, in the Loup Valley of Nebraska, a family pauses for a moment on their trek towards the unknown. With only their wagon, their horses, and their dreams, they faced the vast, unforgiving landscape of the American frontier. This is the reality of the Great Migration, a testament to the strength and resilience of those who dared to seek a new beginning. A ranch in Montana, far from luxury, yet the heartbeat of a growing frontier. In 1872, photographer William H. Jackson captured this rugged outpost, the home of those who struck it rich through mining or building vast cattle empires. This is where fortunes were forged in the dust and isolation of the West. It wasn't about comfort, it was about survival and the endless pursuit of prosperity in a land that offered nothing for free. New Mexico Territory, 1895. A family poses outside their log cabin. In this portrait, the parents, their children, their dog, and their Native American helper. This was daily life in the territory, a glimpse into a household frozen in time. Oklahoma, circa 1998 to 1999. A vast cotton field under the sun. In this frame, workers harvesting cotton, monitored by a supervisor. This is the manual labor that defined the landscape and the economy of the era, captured by the National Archives. Buffalo Bill, circa 1875. Born William Frederick Cody, he was a performer, a scout, and a Civil War veteran. He founded Buffalo Bill's Wild West, a show that toured the US and Europe by 1880, a true icon who brought the legend of the American frontier to the world. (1886) Native American performers from Buffalo Bill's Wild West posing before their teepees. This groundbreaking show, which began touring in 1880, featured legends like Annie Oakley and Calamity Jane. It romanticized frontier life and permanently cemented the Wild West myth in global pop culture. 1908. Performers from Pawnee Bill's Wild West show gathered in a semicircle. With their horses standing guard behind them, they rest between acts. A candid glimpse behind the curtain of the traveling spectacle that brought the frontier to the public. Annie Oakley, the legendary shotswoman of the American West. Winning her first shooting match at just 15, she became an icon with Buffalo Bill's Wild West. This rare shot captures her signature trick, firing over her shoulder using a hand mirror. Unmatched skill from a woman who defined an era. Calamity Jane. Born Martha Canary, she was the most famous frontierswoman of her time. A scout for General Crook, she defied convention by wearing men's clothing and living life on her own terms. Whether her legendary tales are fact or fiction, she remains an unforgettable figure of the Wild West. (1874), the Black Hills Expedition. General George A. Custer leads a massive force of cavalry, artillery, and wagons across the Dakota Territory. Their goal? To scout for gold and potential fort sites. But this intrusion ignited a war, sparking the Great Sioux War, a pivotal moment in history captured in this haunting, sprawling image. (1876), a horse-drawn litter carrying a wounded soldier from the Battle of Slim Buttes, Dakota Territory. This raw, harrowing image by S.J. Morrow captures the brutal reality of conflict on the frontier. No glory here. Just the grim, silent cost of war in the American West. August 4th, 1898. Omaha, Nebraska. The Indian Congress Day Parade. A massive crowd lines the streets to witness a historic gathering of Native American tribes. This rare image captures the complex intersection of cultures at the turn of the century, frozen in time by the National Archives. 1891. Pine Ridge, South Dakota. A chilling contrast, an Oglala camp standing before a massive government boarding school. These schools were designed to force Native American children to abandon their culture and language. This image captures the painful reality of the era's assimilation policies, a dark chapter in American history. (1890), Pine Ridge, South Dakota. A bird's-eye view of a Sioux camp, hundreds of teepees scattered across the vast, barren plains, a powerful and somber record of a people enduring in the final days of the frontier. Geronimo, the legendary Chiricahua Apache warrior. For decades, he led raids against the U.S. Army and settlers in the Southwest, a symbol of resistance against the forced relocation of his people. Captured in 1887, this is the face of a man who fought to the end for his land and his freedom. September 10th, 1886, Texas. Apache prisoners of war at a stop along the Southern Pacific Railroad. Among them, Geronimo and his son, visible on the right. A somber image of displacement as they were transported away from their ancestral lands. The grim reality of the end of the Apache resistance. San Francisco Bay, 1889. Chinese immigrants drying shrimp and mending nets. Fleeing political instability from China, they became a vital force in the American West. From agriculture to the construction of the first transcontinental railroad, their labor built the foundations of a nation. Monterey, California, 1875. Chinese fishermen had established a thriving industry along the West Coast, but systemic racism soon crippled their livelihood. Discriminatory laws, heavy taxes, and bans on traditional fishing nets forced many to abandon their trade. This is the untold story of the struggle and sacrifice of Chinese immigrants in the American West. California, circa 1860 to 1870. Chinese railroad workers atop a lumber train at the Bloomer Cut. They formed the backbone of the workforce that built the first transcontinental railroad, a brutal, dangerous project forged by the relentless labor of thousands who risked everything to connect a nation. (1890) Fort Keogh, Montana. The 25th Infantry Buffalo Soldiers. Formed in 1866, these legendary African American units were sent west to fight in the Indian Wars. Despite the systemic racism they faced, they served with distinction for decades, operating well into the 1950s. The Buffalo Soldiers, an enduring symbol of courage and resilience. Kearney, Nebraska, 1888. The U.S. infantry marches through the heart of the frontier town, a rare glimpse into the daily presence of the military in the Wild West. This was the pulse of a nation expanding, captured in a single, dusty moment. Circa 1900 to 1910, a cowgirl standing with her horse. Women in the American West were essential, working alongside men in farming, ranching, and livestock drives. This image, originally a postcard, captures the growing cultural icon of the cowgirl, a symbol of strength and independence in the frontier era. Kitty Wilkins, the Horse Queen of Idaho. A pioneering businesswoman, she famously sold 8,000 horses for the British Army during the Boer War. One of the most famous women of the American West, yet today largely forgotten. A testament to the forgotten female power of the frontier. (1891), Hot Springs, South Dakota, a public bathhouse, a vital institution of its time. Before private bathing became the standard, these spaces were built to promote community health and hygiene. This image by John C. H. Grabill preserves a forgotten facet of daily life on the American frontier. 1897, Tollgate Saloon, Black Hawk, Colorado. A quintessential Wild West saloon. These bars served everyone, from businessmen and miners to cowboys and soldiers. By the end of the 19th century, they were the heart of social life on the frontier. A moment of respite captured in the quiet of this historic room. Circa 1900, Orient Saloon in Bisbee, Arizona, a heated game of faro in progress. Beyond just drinking, these saloons were the hubs of Wild West life, centers for gambling, entertainment, and political debate. A candid look at the vibrant, often raw, social culture that defined the frontier. Deadwood, Dakota Territory, 1876. A gold mining boomtown in its infancy. Captured by S.J. Morrow, this sprawling view reveals the raw, wooden heart of a settlement that would become a legendary icon of the American West. Today, a preserved National Historic Landmark, frozen in this singular historic frame. 1889, a mine in Montana. These men, captured by photographer John C. H. Grabill, stand before the entrance to their workplace. A gritty, authentic glimpse into the grueling labor that drove the economy of the American West. This image documents the faces and the hard reality of life on the frontier. History isn't just about dates, it's about the people who lived it. If you want to see more rare, unfiltered glimpses into the American West, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Which of these stories impacted you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.